Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. La, la, la. Welcome everybody to the show. Today is March 6th in the year 2023. 2023. Good morning everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You made it. Good morning. Holy smoke. We're here. Oh my God. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday to you. You made it. We're here. We're here. Welcome. Welcome to the program. We are live. We're live here on YouTube. Good morning. What a story. Oh, my God. The story of Alex Murdaugh. Alec, the lawyer. Wow. I kind of missed this story. I think we all kind of missed it. It wasn't that interesting. It was a story about a lawyer out in South Carolina, and his wife and son were shot or murdered, brutally murdered, heads blown off, brains on the ground down there in the great state of South Carolina. And for about a year and a half, no one really knew who did it. And it turns out that it was, in fact, the husband, Alex Murdaugh. Why can't I pronounce his name all of a sudden? But anyway, well, the story is fascinating. That he, for a year and a half, this lawyer, this high-profile lawyer, lied, cheated, stole millions of dollars from clients, lied to enforcement agents when they asked him about the circumstances surrounding the murder. He said I wasn't there. Turns out he was there. There's no other explanation as to. See, in this case, it's also fascinating in that there was no direct evidence. There was no video. There was no eyewitness. There was no confession. So there was a lot of circumstantial evidence, and we're going to look at this case. I guess it begs for an answer to the question, what provokes a very successful lawyer, generational lawyer? His grandpappy was a lawyer, his father was a lawyer, high-profile lawyers, like top prosecutors in the state. What drives a guy like this to kill his wife and his son in cold blood with a gun, with the family gun? He turned the family gun on the. What makes somebody do that? Is he just crazy? Is he strung out on opioids? Maybe that was the reason. Maybe we got to blame something today, right? So we're going to look at the details. A lot of video to unravel, and again, fascinating outcome. You see. Alex Murdaugh getting dragged off to fucking court and dragged off to jail. And fascinating. Just bear with me. It's a Monday. Even OJ weighed in on it. No joke, says Zoot Suit Cooter. Yeah. This guy, Alec, went all in on his getting on the stand. He shouldn't have done that, in my opinion. He got caught in a lie. First, he got caught in a lie that he said he wasn't there. And then there was a video that proved that he was there at the time of the murder. So he had to get on the stand, and for that, he had to explain. And opens himself up to cross-examination, which the prosecutors did effectively. They made the jury see that he's a prolific liar, a thief, and the circumstantial evidence was enough to convict him, so. But anyway, we'll look at that story. Here he is, guilty as charged. Oh, my God, justice served. Alec is now sitting in jail. Here he is in the car. He was being interrogated by these fine police officers. This was the night of the incident. And we'll look at that video. Mostly we'll look at that video because we want to see evidence. Is he strung out on opioids? They said he said he was consuming, 60 or 80 pills per day. Wow, that's a lot of opioid. That's a lot of Oxycontin. How many fucking 80 pills? And you combine those with other things like alcohol or Xanax, other medications. Maybe you smoke a joint on top of it. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. So who's guilty here? Is it a prosecution of the legal system that all lawyers lie? They all lie. He thought, and effectively got away with it for a year and a half. He thought that, he could murder people and get away with it because of who his family was and because of his legal skills in the courtroom, which of course, he's very savvy. He's won millions of dollars in cases. He has defended people in criminal, murder-related things. So is it a condemnation of the legal system, or is it just another pointer that don't take 80 Oxycontin pills at once because you'll wind up killing yourself or somebody else, right? Could be one of those too. And it does seem that as time went on, he allegedly sobered up. He was able to sit in court, answer questions, take the stand, show up, not show up, right? Become a good defendant in the murder trial. Was he still strung out? Right. And after that, shouldn't he have come clean? Oh, I killed her. I killed my wife. I killed my kid. Please, let me go. I've suffered enough. So I don't know. There's a lot of spins on this, but we're going to look at it. It's fascinating Monday for you. Welcome, everybody. Mark Visconti, I got a website. I do have a website. Every morning at 9 a.m., we are chattering away. If it's 9 a.m., my jaw is moving and words are coming out. Every morning at 9 a.m. And Tuesday evening, 7 p.m., Tuesday evening weekly Dharma gathering where we slow our mind down and we see all things for what they are, not as we wish they were. Right? And when you do this, you get to become very clear. When you're looking at a murder case, you see the details and the evidence instead of the bullshit coming out of the lawyer's mouth. Right? A lot of bullshit came out of this guy's mouth. But anyway, learn to meditate, 90-day meditation challenge every Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. right here on YouTube. Great way to fund this program is through Zelle. We're looking for a millionaire. I heard Jeff Bezos just put together a $500 million, $500 million yacht. You heard? Alex fucking Bezos has a $500 million yacht. It could house 18 people and 40 sailors. Right? And we're looking for one guy like him. We're looking for one Jeff Bezos to donate $1 million to the program so that we can advance these very, very sought after answers to today's perplexing questions. Truthful answers to these perplexing questions pertaining to United States aggravating war with Russia and China and invading countries like Venezuela and protecting people like Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and prosecuting people like Jeffrey Epstein. All of these fascinating subjects, right, that we cover on this program. If you'd like to see an advance in that, advance some cash down the avenue of Zelle, and we'll all be happy for that. Right? We may not get a Jeff Bezos-sized boat, but at least we'll be there. At least we'll be in the game. Right? So So let's do that. So did I? Yeah, there he is, guilty of sin. So let's start here. Alex Murdaugh testifies. Here are the key moments from his 2 days on the stand. Very charismatic guy. You're going to enjoy this, right? So here he is, 3 minutes, CNN fake news reporting in the courthouse. They're going to highlight for us, and then we'll look at the more of the details.
You, like you've done so many times over the course of your life, had to back up and make a new story that kind of fit with the facts.
Alex Murdaugh under cross-examination for a second day, several times getting...
Alex Murdaugh. Now I got it right. Murdaugh, 2 syllables, Conti. Alex Murdaugh.
Heated.
You dang right I'm consistent about that, because a very short time before that, David Owens is asking me questions and telling me I'm a suspect in the murder of my wife and my child and asking me about my clothes. You dang right it was important.
Because the only thing you're concerned about is yourself. You're not concerned about giving accurate information to law enforcement.
As he tries to convince the jury he did not kill his wife Maggie and son Paul.
You mean like, did I shoot my wife and my son?
Yes.
No.
Prosecutor Creighton Waters pushing Murdaugh hard over his admission of lying about being at the family dog kennels, where the bodies were found the night of the murders.
Pretty much all of that was lies, wasn't it?
The part about me not being at the kennel was a lie.
Well, also not knowing that Paul went down there, not being sure, that was a lie too, wasn't it? I mean, you're putting some detail on this thing, aren't you?
Everything about me not going to the kennel was a lie.
And you're able...
That was the killer right there. That was the killer testimony that he said over and over again, and you'll see the video, that I don't know what happened. I got here and everybody was dead. And it turns out that he was there at the time of the murder, and he lied about it. So that piece of circumstantial evidence was really enough for the jury to hang him. That's a hell of a detail to miss. You said you weren't there, but you were there. That is fucked up, right? There's no other suspects in this case other than family, because the police only had family DNA. The guns were the bullets and guns and all the ammo or whatever, the weapons were all consistent with a family gun. Somebody picked it up and shot somebody else. Nobody showed up with another gun. There's no footprints. There's no tire tracks. There's no other gun or ammunition or casings or anything that points to anybody else being there. Police wouldn't have missed that. So he was there. Initially, he said he wasn't there, but he did. I think that was the nail in the coffin right there.
Able to just do that so easily and so convincingly and so naturally, don't you?
And hammering Murdaugh on what the prosecution is calling his new story.
You never told them all this new story that you've constructed in light of this trial, is that correct?
I did not tell them that I went to the kennel. I lied about that.
And at the same time, you also looked at this jury and tried to tell them that you had been cooperative in this investigation.
Other than lying to...
See, it's a lawyer. He's a lawyer, and he thinks he probably doesn't even know what a lie is anymore. A lie is not, there is no, well, lie. We don't lie. We're lawyers. We tell a story to get what we want, right? Whether it's, right, that's what we do. That's what lawyers do. And I think it's brilliant documentary on just how bad a lawyer can hang himself because he has no compass to the truth, no, real understanding of what is true or not. He's just making shit up. I was there. No, I wasn't there. What's more convenient for me? No, I wasn't there.
Them about going to the kennel. I was cooperative in every aspect of this investigation.
Very cooperative, except for maybe the most important fact of all, that you were at the murder scene with the victims just minutes before they died.
Also revealed.
That's pretty damning, right? He was at the scene minutes before they died, but he said he wasn't there. Right? He covered his trail somewhat, but not all the way. I don't think they ever found the actual weapon. He might have stashed that one. I don't know how. He was still there. I don't know.
Astonishing details we've never heard about just
Or maybe I'm not sure of that detail. I think maybe the gun, one of the family guns was on the ground, and that was the gun that killed the son and the woman. Now, someone, again, the other ridiculous idea is that someone came in because of some other incident a year or two before, some kind of boating accident. And the angry people from the boating accident came in to kill Paul, and they decided to kill everybody. Even that story falls short, because if Alec, Madoff is there, how come they didn't kill him too? And why would murderers show up on the property without guns? Oh yeah, we're gonna go there, and then we're gonna try to find the gun and kill somebody. No, that's not how it works. You show up, you got to get there, you got to walk there, you got to fly there, you got to drive there. How did you get there? How did these murderers get there? So a lot of holes in the story. And long story short, upon further investigation, the prosecutors did the right thing. There was no other witness. There was no other suspect other than him the whole time. And they just played along with it for a year and a half.
how serious Murdaugh says his opioid addiction was.
So you're taking 60 a day or something like that? I mean,
There were days where I took more than that.
But
60 a day. That guy was taking 60 on his own admission, 60 opioid pills, more than that a day. Now, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about this, Oxycontin, but I know people that I guess the average prescription is like, 30 pills, and it's one a day or two a day. This guy was taking 60 pills a day. And if he was doing that, he was probably consuming other things as well. So that's a big factor right there. Those two big factors. One is that he was at the murder scene, and he was strung out on his own admission, upwards of 60 opioid pills per day.
the majority of the cross-examination Friday focused on what happened June 7th, 2021.
So what you're telling this jury is that it's a random vigilante,
That's
the
your turn.
12-year-old 5'2" people that just happened to know that Paul and Maggie were both at Moselle on June 7th, that knew that they would be at the kennels alone on June the 7th, that knew that you would not be there, but only between the times of 8:49 and 9:02, that they show up without a weapon, assuming that they're going to find weapons and ammunition there, that they commit this crime during that short time window, and then they travel the same exact route that you do around the same time to Alameda. That's what you're trying to tell this jury?
You got a lot of factors in there, Mr. Waters, all of which I do not agree with, but some of which I do.
See, that's precisely the type of language that the jury doesn't want to hear. All right? That prosecutor painted a picture of what Madoff is trying to convince the jury of, that somebody else did it. And it couldn't have been me. Why would I, and the other fascinating, element of this is why? What is the motive? Why does a lawyer, a successful lawyer, a thieving lawyer, a guy who stole millions of dollars on his own admission from clients, why does he turn around and then murder his wife and kid? What's the motive? What happened? What clicked in his mind to make him think that was somehow a good idea? Or some sort of. It just it's perplexing, right? So you got to wonder: is it the karma of all the lies, or is it the opioid addiction, or a combination of both, or is he just some other brand of mental illness? I don't know. Let's keep going. So, judge condemns monster.
What's it like to hear from the people actually living the
Let's watch the judge sentence Madoff to 2 life sentences. Check this out. This is pretty good. Oop.
I would never, under any circumstance,
That's it.
I'm innocent,
I'm
I
innocent.
would never, under any circumstances, hurt my wife Maggie, and I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my son Paw.
Well, and it might not have been you. It might
Wow.
have been the monster you become when
Wow.
you take 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 opioid pills. Maybe you become another person.
Good call, Judge.
I've seen that before. The person standing before me was not the person who committed the crime, though it's the same individual. All right, Mr. Murdaugh, I sentence you to the State Department of Corrections on each of the murder indictments in the murder of your wife, Maggie Murdaugh. I sentence you for a term of the rest of your natural life for the murder of Paul
No flinch.
Murdaugh, whom you probably loved so much. I sentence you to prison for murdering him for the rest of your natural life. Those sentences will run consecutive.
Wow. Consecutive meaning that if he dies, if he survives one life sentence and dies and comes back to life, he goes back to prison. That's really stupid, right? We have that kind of law. Right? Imagine that, how it's like fairy tale. Like you get 2 life sentences. Like even if you somehow survive this life, and you come back and we find out that you're what happens if he reincarnates into somebody else? Does the other person go to jail? 2 life sentences. What is that? How about life in prison or death? Or we let you out the door, right? How about just life in prison? 2 life sentences. You murdered twice.
Under the statute involving possession of a weapon during a violent crime, there is no sentence where a life sentence is imposed on other indictments. That is the sentence of the court, and you are remanded to the State Department of Corrections.
Done deal. Pow. Zoom. Back to jail. Off to jail. Wow. So anyway, so let's see what else happened here. So here he is. This is a fascinating clip. It's an hour and 40 minutes. I'm just going to play the last 3 minutes. When he's being grilled by the lead prosecutor, the lead investigator in this case, and he learns for the first time that he's a suspect. For the first hour and 40 minutes, they're talking about some other possibilities, suspects. He thinks he's coming into the room to hear what kind of traction they have on finding the killer, not him, somebody else. And he learns for the first time that he's a suspect in the case. Let's listen. Check this out.
Darn, allergies. Excuse me.
They're coughing back and forth. They're coughing. That's probably communication. You guys always coughing. What are you coughing about? It's not. You don't have any allergies. You're fucking coding.
All right. Do you have any more questions that I might be able to answer? And if you can't think of any now, reach out, call me.
Well, no. I mean, you've answered a lot of things I had questions about, and I appreciate it.
So he's feeling pretty good about himself all the way up to an hour and 41 minutes of grilling. And watch what happens. Watch it take a turn.
And I'll call the Branstetters and see if they want to meet. Maybe get Marion up there at the same time so I can just meet with them all together. Does Marion, I know they live out of Wamala, does Marion work?
No, she doesn't work. And they're kind of between Wadmalaw and, I mean, they're residents of the state of Florida, but.
So, I mean, again, as you watch these videos, you realize how savvy of a liar he is, right? He's a guy who just blew his son's head off and his wife's head off. And he's in there comfortably, with his polo shirt and his white privilege. This guy was again, his grandfather was a lead prosecutor, was the equivalent, I guess, of the DA of a community or area. He was the lead prosecutor for 20 years, and his father was for 40 years. So this guy was like a legal royalty in South Carolina.
They're here as much as but they're in Greenville a lot.
J.J. Wolf says cough is mic check. Interesting. That could be what it is. Yeah, maybe you're right. It's some kind of coding back and forth. He could be going left. He could be going right for whatever reason. But that's not. This cop seems to cough on a lot of the videos at different times of the year, and so anyway, you just look for it.
Right now.
Yeah, because it's grandbaby.
The baby, that's right.
He's going to ask him in a second. Just be patient.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. I just, a few more questions.
A few more questions.
Did you kill Maggie?
No. Did I kill my wife?
Yes.
No, David.
Do you know who did?
No, I do not know who did.
Did you kill Maggie? Did you kill your wife? No. Do you know who did it? I do not know.
Did you kill Paul?
Did you
No,
kill
I
Paul?
did not kill Paul.
Do you know who did?
No, sir, I do not know who did.
Right? So there it is, right? After all the bullshit, all the letting him talk for hours and hours like police will do, they finally get down to saying, did you kill these people? And when he says no, that's what happens.
Do you think I killed Maggie?
The guy's like, I don't know. It seems like it.
I have to go where the evidence and the facts
I
take me.
understand that.
Go where the evidence and the facts lead him, right? So where did the evidence and the facts lead to?
And you think I killed Paul?
I have to go where the evidence and the facts take me, and I don't have anything that points to anybody else at this time.
He doesn't have anything. The lead prosecutor is saying he doesn't have any evidence at all that leads to somebody else other than you. Now that's some shit to swallow, man. You want to swallow some medicine? That guy probably shit in his pants when the guy said that. He's like, there is no other evidence. There was nobody else there. There's no evidence. There's no DNA, no other gun, no bullets, no casings, nothing that seemed to have come into the property. It seems like everything was already there, including you.
So does that mean that I am a suspect?
You were still in, like I told Corey earlier, you were still in this.
You are still in this. Now, this is back in 2021. So he's known, that's August 11, 2021. He's known this for over a year and a half, right? So he's been a suspect for a year and a half. I don't know when they arrested him, but
With everything that we've talked about, with the family guns, the ammunition, nobody else's DNA.
there you go. Family guns, family ammunition, no other DNA.
I have to put my beliefs aside and go with the facts.
Boom. Wow. Holy shit. Holy smokes, right? So here's an interesting video. Watch a little bit of this. Body cam footage of Alex Murdaugh on night of murders. Here he is, right? So moments. What I didn't understand is that when you fire a gun, shouldn't there be like powder marks on your hands? Maybe he used gloves. I don't know. I don't know quite the details because I picked up on this story over the weekend, and it's just fascinating. I think we know enough, but here he is. Now we know his fate. We know that he did it, or at least we assume that nobody else did it. We could be reasonably sure he did it, but look at him the night of the event, how You want to know because we're looking for motive. Was he strung out? I don't know. Is this what somebody on 80 Oxycontin pills looks like?
Okay, it's in your vehicle? Do you have any guns on you at all?
No, sir. It's leaning up against the side of my car.
Okay. You're fine, man. You're fine. Turn around for me.
I don't have any.
Okay. Yes, sir. I see that. Okay. This is your wife and son?
And son.
Okay.
He's so sorry.
It's bad. It's bad. Check the pulses.
Yes, sir.
Why is the
This
gun?
is the firearm you brought from inside the house?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I went and got. This is a long story. My son was in a boat wreck a few months back. He's been getting threats. Most of it's been benign stuff we didn't take serious.
Okay.
You know, he's been getting like punched. I noticed.
He's nervous like a motherfucker, right? Nervous like a motherfucker, crying. Well, I mean, even if he did even if he was the killer, he's still going to feel remorse. You just killed your wife and your kid, man. What happened to you?
Somebody, I know that's what it is.
Okay. When did you get home? Right when you called, or did you go to the house first? Where is the house?
I came to the house first. My mom has late stages Alzheimer's, and my dad is in the hospital.
Okay.
I left. I don't know what time.
So again, here's the top prosecuting lawyer crying to cover his trails, covering his trails. The night of the murder, is he strung out on opioids? Let's find. I don't know.
I can go back on my phone and tell you the exact times. Did you check?
Okay. Did I check what?
Did you check them?
We got medical guys that are that's what they're gonna do. Okay.
What are they doing? Can they hurry?
They are. Yes, sir. That gentleman that was out here already, he's one of the battalion chiefs. Okay. How did you pull up? You from back there?
I went to the house and they weren't home, which was odd. I tried to call.
Okay.
And then I knew they had been down here before I left to go to my mom's.
Okay.
And so that is loaded.
Okay.
You might want to unload it. But I mean.
Is this the only firearm with you? This is the only one, or is there any more in the truck?
I believe that's it.
You think that's the only one? Okay.
I'm 99%.
Do you normally
certain that's
have
right.
any other firearms in your vehicle?
I don't, but
So that gun, he claims the gun. There's not much, it's just, this is just character, taking a look at his character. But that was the gun. Apparently, that was the gun that he said he went back to the house to get to protect himself against the people who just did the killing. Or is that the gun itself that did the murder? I don't know.
Okay.
occasionally there's a pistol in there.
Okay. Just wait right here for me for a second.
Josephine says she watched the whole trial. I watched pieces of it. But admittedly, very late in the show. I think the conviction is what got me interested. Really, I mean,
Okay.
there's a blur. They blurred this part out. I think that's where the kid is laying with his head blown off. His fucking brain came out of his head. And he shot him. He shot him bad. He shot him. I don't know. He shot the wife like 5 times. He shot the kid in the head twice with a shotgun. You hear the dogs in the background. They're in the dog kennel. What else we got?
The best way to burn fat and get in shape, it's not keto,
Yes, man.
paleo, fasting, or vegan, and it's not super
Sorry for the commercial. So this video is just a lot of walking around that night. I think we got the an MO of the guy. Here he is.
Richard
Here he is.
Alexander Murdaugh.
Richard Alexander Murdaugh. Is he crying because he can't believe what he just did?
No. Hey,
Don't opioids
come around the truck and then go to the building.
don't opioids knock you on your ass?
Yes.
I don't know if it's from
What's
one of
that?
ours or not, but there's a set of footprints behind the trailer there too.
Okay.
That's how we kind of try to stay around this whole here so we don't step over anything.
So they, you know, obviously they're looking for footprints. So that's him on the very night. Here he is in the car. This is pretty profound too. This is him in the car, and he's being grilled right after all that. So let's listen to the prolific liar that is the lawyer. Turn the mic on, brother. These guys did a good job. The cops did a good job. How you doing? Hey, Alex. Did you kill your wife?
All right, Mr. Murdaugh, state your full name for me, please.
Richard Alexander.
Push your little head. Does he look like a guy who just killed his wife and kid? I don't know.
All right. As I stated, I'm David Owen in Lower Rutland with Colleton County, and I'm with SLED. I hate to have to do this.
I
but,
understand.
yeah,
I totally
yeah,
understand.
yeah.
So you don't have any problem with it.
Josephine points out, thank you, Josephine, for the details, says they never found the guns that were used. That's interesting. What did he do with the gun? How did he disappear the gun that was used? That's fascinating. One of the guns was missing. That's for sure. I saw that part of it, that one of his guns, many guns that he had, was missing. So they never found the gun that was used. Thank you for that info.
So
that's an open-ended investigation. Where's the gun? There's no gun. Where's the gun? How did he? If he never, okay, he left. He claims that he left to go get a second gun. Right? He left the property and came back, is what he claims. Right? So he had plenty of time. I guess there was time for him to dump the gun. But what did he do with it? You know, you talk about a thorough investigation. Somebody must have been involved. How do you do that? How do you stash a gun? They got your. They're watching your every move. They know where you drove. They know where you went. They backtrack. What did he have, a hole already ready to go? Where is that gun, Alec?
just start at the top, take your time.
And Josephine says 2 guns. All right, where was the 2 guns?
Like when I came back here, I mean, I pulled up and I could see them, and you know, I knew something was bad. I ran out. I knew it was really bad. My boy over there, I could see it was.
Hold on to him to see if it's real, if he's really crying. He's definitely crying.
I'm sorry.
And I could see his brain on
His brain got blown out of his fucking head. That's what happens. That's what happens with guns, man. You know, you be careful with those things. Shotgun to the head blew the kid's brain out of his skull. Brain on the floor over there. That's your brain.
And I ran over to Maggie, and actually, I think I tried to turn Paul over first. You know, I tried to turn him over, and I don't know, I figured it out.
I tried to turn Paul over. He had his hands on the dead guy, on the dead son. Now, the speculation is that he did that because he was searching for Paul's phone. The phone, because there was a video of him at the place earlier. Some TikTok bullshit, some TikTok video or something. So the speculation there is that he even knew to lie about that. Oh, yeah, I touched Paul. I moved him a little bit. But the thought is that he was looking for the phone, maybe to delete the video or something, or I don't know.
His cell phone popped out of his pocket. I started to try to do something with it, thinking maybe, but then I put it.
All right, so he mentions the phone. The phone was a critical piece of information, a critical piece of evidence in that the phone, the kid that got shot in the head with his brain on the floor, the son, his phone had the video. He videoed his father at the kennel with him moments earlier. Right? That was the damning evidence. That's what he couldn't escape, that he was there.
It back down really quickly. Then I went to my wife, and
I shot her.
I mean, I could see.
Did you touch Maggie at all?
I did. I touched them both.
Okay.
I tried to take. I tried to do it as limited as possible, but I tried to take their pulse on both of them.
Try to take a pulse of both of them. Okay.
And, I called 911 pretty much right away. And she was very good.
Hey, Josephine, what was the time frame from the time of the crime to the time he dialed 911? How much time did he have in between what the police say he did? From the actual murder, the actual events of putting the gun to someone's head and killing them. How much time was it from then to the point of calling 911? How much time did he have to stash those guns?
I talked to her. I told her I was going to get off the phone to call some family members. I did that.
What family members did you call?
I called my brother Randy, and I called my brother John.
Tetragrammaton Ghost makes a great observation. He checked the dead people's pulse after he checked the phone. He went to the phone first. That's a good catch. Good catch. Very good catch. You see two dead bodies on the ground. One is your wife and one is your son, and your son's brain is on the ground. What do? Do you check to see if they're alive, or you go for the phone? Why are you going for the kid's phone? That doesn't make sense, right? Unless there's something on the phone that he wanted not to be there.
And I tried to call a little boy, real good friend that's right around the corner from here, but I didn't get him.
Okay.
So there he is, lying his ass off. Let's keep going. Here he is in court. Cross-examination. Here's where he's on the stand, and he's accused of... Again, sorry for the commercials. Just watch pieces of it.
It's not something I did. That's not a normal thing. So
Let's watch.
Yeah, at some point I had to make a conscious decision to pick it up.
But you're saying you don't know if you hung it out like that on purpose while you're talking to that law enforcement officer, or if it's just...
So the discussion here is that he had a badge, but the greater discussion is he the same person he was that night? Right? He looks a little thinner. He looks he doesn't look as bloated. Right? He's what else is different about him? He seems to be in lawyer mode. Again, jurors don't want to hear that. Jurors don't want to hear you outwit the other lawyer, right? You're sitting there and you're accused of murder, and you want to get into a jostling match with the attorney. Jurors, they came back in 3 hours, deliberated for 3 hours. The jury did, and found them guilty. Let's just listen to a little more body language, motive, right? Why would he? Is this the guy who killed his wife and kid as he sits there on the stand?
Just an accident that is hanging out of your pocket in full view of everyone.
Well, I am saying that because that is not how I would normally carry a badge. And even if I wanted to give somebody an impression, to me, that's got kind of an obnoxious look to it. That is not something that...
That's not something I would do.
But that was not enough.
Somebody earlier said he reminds them of this guy reminds them of Bill Clinton. Right? He does seem like a Bill Clinton, right? A lying motherfucker, right?
You also stole money from that teenager. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right? When you did,
In this video, he talks about over and over again how he stole money from all of his clients. One guy was a paraplegic. Another two kids. The guy they were mostly car accidents. He would defend really bad people that got hurt really bad in a car accident. One guy was paraplegic, settled for $2 million. Madoff and his law firm, they stole like 80% of the money. In one case, they took it all. So he's openly here. He's here to tell the jury that yes, I am a thief. I'm a corrupt lawyer. I stole money from everybody, but I did not kill my wife and son.
did that, did you sit down with her, much as you sat down with this jury, and explain to her what was going on while you were stealing her money?
That would be the normal process, but I certainly don't remember specifically doing that.
That would be the normal process, correct?
That would be. It may be a little different with a teenager, but certainly, I mean.
You would sit down with them across the
He's very, 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 very comfortable in the courtroom. Very comfortable. Much experience.
table and go through these documents, correct?
If that would not be abnormal, yes, sir.
All right. And then you would explain to them what was going on and how they were getting everything they were entitled to, correct?
J.J. Wolf points out he would have never left the crime scene to visit his mother. Good catch. Good catch. Right. He claims twofold. One, that he went to take care of his Alzheimer's mother, but he also said he went to retrieve a weapon so that he could defend himself from whoever just killed his wife and kid. Right. So that was twofold. Did he just go to help? Did he leave the scene of the crime just to help his ailing mother after that horrific thing that just happened, or did he go to to retrieve a gun? I don't know. It's a little gray. I don't know.
If I was,
Why did he just do both? Hey, Mom, fucking Paul's brain just got blown out at the dog kennel. I got to go back and check it out.
the one doing it, yes, sir.
And you would look them in the eye while you did that, correct?
It wouldn't be unusual for me to look them in the eye.
While you were doing some fast talking to a teenager, correct?
All right, so the lawyer does a great job showing that he's totally on the take. Let's listen to Fox News do a little spin here.
For the past century,
Here's the judge again sentencing him to 2 life sentences. Listen.
your family, including you, have been prosecuting people here in this courtroom, and many have received the death penalty, probably for lesser conduct.
I'm innocent. I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my wife, Maggie, and I would never, under any circumstances, hurt my son, Paul.
Right till the end. He lied right till the end. Right. So he's going to try to appeal. Of course, nobody's going to listen to his appeal. This is the judge was squeaky clean in this. There's no appeals are not for. They're for mistakes, courtroom mistakes, things that are not allowed in a courtroom, right? But they'll find none of that. And even if they do, they got 2 life sentences to get rid of.
Well, and it might not have been you. It might have been the monster you become, and I know you have to see Paul and Maggie during the night times when you're attempting to go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
The judge in the Alex Murdaugh trial handing down.
Even Fox News is having a hard time with his name. Murdaugh.
2 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole for the convicted killer.
But Murdaugh's defense team vows
There he is, bald. They took him into custody, shaved off his head.
to appeal the sentence.
This guy's going to have a hard time. He's going to have a hard time in jail. Maybe not. He's, again, deep-rooted connections in the criminal justice system. all he needs is one corrupt judge or one corrupt correctional facility employee to get him stuff. They'll keep him separated. They won't put him in general population. Remember, this guy was a prosecutor who, you know, I guess he went after people who got the death sentence, right? And so he's a marked man. You know, he's a marked man in jail. He'll spend his time isolated in maximum security, but he may get some privilege because if they don't take all of his money, he's got millions of dollars. If they don't take all of his money, he'll have some money on the side to live somewhat of an, you know, he'll get Twinkies once in a while, or he'll get real food. Look, at this age, you can't last more than 10 years in jail. Shitty food, no sunlight, the stress level, the noise, the corruption that you're surrounded with. This guy's not going to live more than 10 years like that. He may be able to stretch it to 15 or 20 if he has some goodies, you know.
Here to react, Trey Gowdy, host of Sunday Night in America, former
Let's listen to Trey Gowdy talk. Why not?
South Carolina prosecutor and author of the new book, Start, Stay, or Leave. Trey, thanks so much for being here. Congrats on the book.
Trey Gowdy's now covering murder trials instead of he's studying. He's talking about murder and lying lawyers instead of lying congressmen.
Just overall, Trey, your reaction to the riveting trial over the last couple of weeks and the outcome.
Long trial, quick verdict. So a quick verdict just says the jury. I mean, for all the pundits and the commentators and the prognosticators, I mean, the jury was not troubled by this case.
Yep.
It all boils down. Look, initially it was about what the police did or did not do. But as soon as Alex Murdaugh took the stand, it became about his believability, his credibility.
Right.
And while he's a good liar, the emphasis is on the word liar. And the jury took no time. I mean, 3 hours in a trial this long, they were not troubled.
A guy who, again, you're sitting in a room and a guy who just murdered his son and wife. Why is he lying? Why are there so many lies? That's damning circumstantial evidence. Agree.
By his guilt.
Yeah, that's so interesting because that is the question. Was it a mistake to put him on the stand? And so,
well, he couldn't get around that. So I mean, I'll answer that. He couldn't. Once there was a video of him admitting that he was there. He now has to go on the stand and tell the jury, I was there, but I lied. I was scared. I was confused. I didn't know what I was doing. And then it's up to the jury to believe him or not believe him. But that video out of his son's pocket on his son's phone puts him at the scene of the murder. And again, the evidence here is that there's no outside weapon, no outside bullet casings, there's no outside DNA, no footprints, no tire tracks, nothing that puts anybody else but him at the scene. That's the evidence that damned him. When you listen to it, you say, well, nobody else, there's two dead people, and there's a lot of guns circulating around, and nobody else was there, so you did it. The guns didn't shoot somebody by themselves. Somebody had to aim the guns and do it.
So if you were his lawyer, would you have done that, Trey?
Putting him on the stand?
Oh, the lawyer doesn't control that. I mean, can you imagine a worse client to have than a lawyer for a client?
Yeah.
I promise you, Jim Griffin and Dick Harpootlian, I promise you they were begging him. But then again, it wasn't Harpootlian and Jim Griffin that told him to lie the first time he talked to the cops. I mean, the reason he had to testify is because, remember, he said, I was nowhere near the kennel. And then we have this video that has his voice on it. So he had no choice. If he wanted to walk, if he wanted to be acquitted, he had to testify. But I am sure.
There you go. That's Trey Gowdy. I think that's a good assessment. You want to keep your mouth shut. Right? You want to give your story and then keep your mouth shut. Well, don't even give your story. I don't know why he spoke to the police in the first place. But once once there's that damning evidence that puts him at the scene, you have to take the stand. Or that's damning evidence. The only person that was there was you. So you're guilty.
Harpo and Griffin were telling him, don't you dare do it.
You know, Trey, an obvious liar, overwhelming circumstantial evidence. Did it trouble you at all? If you had been in that jury, did it surprise you the jury came back so quick that there was never, at least in my estimation, Trey, I want to hear your response to this, never a clear, obvious motive?
Yeah, you know,
Motive
is so fascinating. I mean, if you and I were to sit here, I don't know, for the rest of our lives and try to come up with a motive, an explanation, a rationale for killing your wife and son, we would never be able to do it. I mean, robbery, we understand. I needed money. The bank had money. I went to the bank. Killing someone that makes you mad is wrong. It's criminal. But you can understand that. There is no rationale that you and I could come up with for executing your wife and son. So you have to hint at a motive because humans are wired to want to know why. I mean, we all want to know why, but there is no why. So you hint at it. I actually think the prosecutor spent too long talking about the motive here because why in the world, if I'm facing 20...
So there is no motive here. There's just a crazy person who kills his wife, right? So again, it comes down to my first speculation. Is this a story about a lawyer who you know, a corrupt lawyer who can't live with himself because he stole all this money from people, and then he gets strung out on opioids and kills his wife and his kid? Isn't it the drug? Is it the drug? Are you in your right mind, you know, 60 Oxycontin pills later on a daily basis, right? Do they have the right guy is what I'm saying, right? You see it all the time with alcohol is that, you know, a guy's driving home 4 o'clock in the morning, he kills 3 people and he wakes up in jail and he has no idea what happened. Total blackout. Was Alex blacked out, meaning that not passed out, but blacked out? Like he was in a place where he couldn't remember what happened. I don't know. It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that based on his that video, him that night outside of the car and then inside the car being questioned.
20 years for embezzlement or theft. Why in the world would I expose myself to the firing squad by committing double homicide?
It's a great question. The defense is vowing to appeal, Trey. What's the likelihood of any success there?
Do you believe in negative numbers? I mean, I don't. I did poorly in math.
So Trey Gowdy, a politician from South Carolina, says no way he's going to find an appeals judge to listen to it. So there you go, man. You got it all, I think. Let's look at the markets. The markets are open. Ding. Life is for the living. Life is good for the living, and the market is up. S&P 500 up 15. Dow Jones Industrial Average up 56. NASDAQ up 50.50. We're going a little higher. We're going higher. Looking at the big board, Apple up $3.33. Nice bump for Apple. Amazon up 10 cents. Google, the parent company of YouTube, up $1.20 per share. Meta, formerly Facebook, up $1.63. Microsoft up $2. Rivian, the maker of electronic vehicles up 80 cents. 5% bump up from Rivian, hovering at the bottom in the 15 to 20 range. An investment for the future, right? Accumulate here. Tesla, $195 a share. Lockheed Martin up $3.80. There must be a war going on. Raytheon up 79 cents. Holy Vaccine, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, mixed. The vaccine makers are mixed right now. So what do we got? I would say we got a positive open. It's green. Green on Wall Street today. Green. We'll take green. We like green. Green is better than red. So thank you all for joining me. Rivian Thank you all for joining me, Mark Escante reporting. Thank you for knowing this case. I was late to the party, but I think we got the details. Horrific event, man. Really. Mark Escante reporting. Play. See you guys tomorrow.